Hey guys, we are back. Welcome to another episode of F.A.M.E Weekly Talk Part 4. Part 4, it is Free Your Mind. Hey baby. There goes my cat. By the way, Roshi, how did it go? You got a cat, you're a new cat mother. Let us know how that go. I want to see photos, please. I really do. Okay guys, so we are back. Another episode of F.A.M.E Weekly Talk, bringing to you guys food, arts, music, and the environment. Every week we do this right here on this Instagram page. So make sure that you guys follow us, alright? F.A.M.E Festival _ Barbados. Oh yeah, Mishka Mactia, that is my name, and I'm the host. Yeah. So every week, like I said, we do this, okay? We have conversations with individuals about their journey, of course, and their contribution towards the food, the art, the music, and the environment, because we love doing it, all right? We really do. So this week we the theme, free your mind. Earlier we had a conversation with, oh my goodness, Shiva. We talked about it, man. All the gourmet kafta, gourmet cheeses, doing her thing for sure. And then we had a conversation with the artist, all right, Brandon Best. Make sure that you guys look out for him, all right? He's going to be at Barbados Connect this coming Wednesday. Yeah, they're doing a little something, you know, gathering and connecting the Barbadians, yes. And now, guys, well, and then we had a conversation with Zoe Climbs Trees. We talked to her. Listen, get your journal, people, and get your journal, do your meditation, stay present, and of course, look out for music from her as well, all right? She's doing her writing. She's just chilling. She's going to be back on the island in December. She's going to be doing some gigs, all right? So make sure that you guys look out for that for sure. And guys, up next, we have the lovely Eleanor Bayne. We are going to be having a conversation with her. Quantum hypnosis. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Oh, by the way, put it in your calendar, December 21st, all right? Just mark that date. Mark it indeed. Hi, baby Rod. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Here's my cat. His name is Ron. He's so awesome. Hey, baby. He's like, I hate you. Why are you here? Why are you doing this to me? Anyway, guys, so this is the F.A.M.E Weekly Talk, all right? Yeah, I want to say hey to the Barbados Connect crew as well, indeed. And my connections, Barbados. I want to say hey to Kian. Margaret, bye. Yes, we're going to have a conversation, all right? Quantum hypnosis. Lydia Bayne, are we ready to do this? Oh, yes. Lydia!
Hi, good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much. I have Hugo here with me.
Oh,
So
nice.
he's sitting right next to the phone as we're going live, Mishka. It's so wonderful to meet you. It was really fantastic to meet with you and Margaret. And I was really unaware of F.A.M.E and what you all are doing. And having just watched your last two guests, I was so heartened. I thought it was a beautiful synchronicity because their message, the artist and Zoe, the fine artist, and Zoe the singer, were very much on a theme of being authentic, of living your passion and purpose, of not being afraid to be a leader, of not being a socially defined purpose, of staying empowered within their own knowingness, their own creativity. So I thought that was a really beautiful lead on talk this evening.
Well, thank you so much. And that is F.A.M.E for you, right? We love bringing people together, sharing the story, getting the message out, and just making a contribution, in whichever way that we possibly can. As the first guest said, leave the world a better place than you came and met it, kind of leave it a better place, so thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to have this conversation. This well-needed conversation. I had my first encounter just with the idea of quantum hypnosis, just some conversations with you, and I'm intrigued, and I think everyone should at least know about this. And let me just put it out there, right? In case we don't get all the information out, we're gonna definitely sit and have a chat with you in length, because this is not just like a one-off thing. This is something you have to kind of, it's a follow-up to it, right? And we really need to get the message out there, for sure.
It is true. And this brings the opportunity, because it is a very new and emerging field. Quantum hypnosis has been used in private practice for quite some time. It's only as it has gained a lot of validity through actual physicists, therapists who have been incorporating quantum physics principles into hypnosis. And what they're actually recording are some incredible results. So it's really gaining validity. And so I wanted to start off before we get into the quantum hypnosis. There was an article that the creator of the WellPoint spiritual hypnosis system that I practice wrote in March of 2018. And I want to start the discussion now. There's going to be maybe a lot of words that some people haven't heard. And, you know, of course, I'm willing to come back and go into depth and expand on certain topics. But this is really, this intro is for people who have been, let's say, seeking, questioning, who've been basically in their own way, no matter what background or belief system they come from, but on a spiritual path. Yeah. So this is called Unlocking the Universe of Possibilities Within You, through exploring the quantum field within. Okay. Before we start, the quantum field is simply what is referred to as the sum total of our consciousness. So our subconscious mind, our unconscious mind, and we get into the level of what they call the superconscious realm, the superconscious, where you have access beyond the 5%, the conscious mind that you and I are engaging with in this moment. But we go into that other 95%. And it is in that other 95% that we find a whole new world of possibilities. So those of us who have been on a spiritual path know many things are possible to facilitate positive changes in our life and our world. Many of us have spent years reading self-help books, attending lectures, workshops, listening to podcasts. Nowadays, we're doing a lot more research, whether it's in person or online. But we know that there is more. We know, we get a sense, especially there has never been a time in history that as a global collective, we know that there is more. And what if we could actually reach that source, tap into that source of knowledge that is inside of us? We can here at this point change our lives and make a deeper, better impact on ourselves and the world around us. This inner field that holds unlimited riches, that has been called many names through time. Plato called it truth, beauty, and the good. Jesus called it the kingdom of heaven within. And Ralph Waldo Emerson called it the oversoul, the superconscious mind, the higher self, or for those who don't relate to that term, our higher intelligence, our higher source of knowledge that we haven't tapped into, which is latent in all of us. So within the new discoveries in quantum physics, we have found that reaching this place where we are connected to the universe of possibilities, where we can excavate our profound magnificence, we can accomplish this in an intensive, lifelong, strict practice with meditation, which has been validated both in scientific research and spiritual principles and practice. But many of us in this present day do not have the time to dedicate 30 years and thousands of hours to develop these spiritual techniques, such as, you know, traditions of the past, when you had the medicine men or the shamans or those who wanted to live a different spiritual life, the monks. We can't lock ourselves away in hopes to gain spiritual enlightenment or a deeper sense of understanding that is a real experience, not something we've heard from somebody, not something that tradition, religion, or parents have told us, but a real experience that we have a knowing after that point that it can never be taken from us. It becomes completely experiential. So we are at this point ready for immediate change as a modern human, and our consciousness is at the highest elevated state of in history, where we can have this connection faster, easier, and we can have it now. WellPoint hypnosis method that I practice has been in research for many years and has unique scripts and techniques that have been developed to assist the modern human living in this new quantum age. to have the ability to reach their quantum field within, their superconscious mind, in the internal space of unlimited possibilities. By accessing this quantum field, we are not only accessing our human potential, but we are connecting to all that is in the unified field through unity consciousness. There are just some of the possibilities here for exploration of the quantum field found inside of us, parallel lives, and the multidimensional theory. All of these terms are classic quantum physics terms that can be researched. We have quantum regressions, future regressions, afterlife experience, quantum time travel, and latent talents and abilities within us. More people want to find what's my purpose, but most don't know that they have abilities that are locked in their DNA that simply need to be activated and tapped into. And I personally myself witnessed this within myself and many persons worked with over the years. There's an incredible, there's a great quote by a physics professor of MIT. His name is Dr. Max Tegmark. Imagine this. If life were a movie, if your life was a movie, physical reality would be the entire DVD. Future and past frames, of course, exist very much as the present one. They're all held on the same disk or quantum field, which is basically locked in our DNA. Our consciousness, our conscious mind operates with chemical memory. And through the study of epigenetics, we have hardback science to show us that memories are also held within the DNA. So through these discoveries in quantum physics and the latest in brainwave technologies and proven techniques, it is now easier, more than ever, to explore and to heal. Now is the time to get this unlimited access of possibilities. So I want to talk about how is this all possible, Mishka?
How is it possible? Yes, I want to know.
Okay, so start off with, okay,
so hold on. Okay, so just in case you guys are wondering what's happening, we're having a conversation with Eleanor Bayne, right? We're getting into quantum hypnosis. We're eventually getting into it, right? But you're just giving us a base, a background, of how the mind works pretty much, right? Conscious mind, unconscious mind, in between. Yes. Okay. Just want to be sure everybody's on the same page.
perfect. So these new discoveries were showing that most of what holds us back in life is held in the unconscious mind. When we have traumatic experience, pain, any so-called negative experience, our mind is designed over the process of evolution for survival. So it represses and compartmentalizes certain experiences. But what we can say conclusively is that if we have an issue we're looking at in our life and we try to solve that issue only using 5%, we are not able to most times access and achieve full healing because the real issue is locked away outside the mind in the sum total of that unconscious mind. And that is what is creating or running the fabric of our life, okay? Yeah. Most of us know what we need to do, but we don't know how to get there. We mostly have an idea of what we want to change or heal in our lives, but sometimes we don't know what the source is or how to achieve it. So these self-destructive unconscious programs and behaviors, traumas, belief systems, we can have poor health, blocked abundance and flow, as well as generational patterns and memories known through the study of epigenetics. These patterns get locked deep in our DNA and unconscious mind. All that has kept us stuck from living our fullest and highest version of ourselves in our lives. Again, most treatments and therapies only engage the conscious mind for resolution. So as we know, we can tap into this other 95%. I mean, we are all seeking success. All human beings, unless they are suffering with chronic mental illness at some level, are seeking fulfillment and success on a personal, social, and planetary level.
Yeah.
But we need more direction to deal with the emerging changes in the world, as well as strategies and direction going forward. Okay, so in quantum hypnosis, we start with a state where I will send you patented frequencies before we have our session. I have an interview process with you. A big part of how this system works, why quantum hypnosis and the WellPoint hypnosis I practice is very different to any other system in the world. We're the only ones that are licensed to use these very cutting edge technologies and frequencies. So what they do is they not only take the brain out of alpha. So alpha is our conscious brainwave.
Yeah.
So we're having a dream time experience, lucid dreaming. We're going from alpha to beta to delta to theta. We're going into the long, slow brain waves. When you entrain, as you hear the frequencies, your brain waves start to entrain to those frequencies. And this allows you to, without much effort, to start to naturally go into a more lucid state. And the deepest state that we can achieve, why this is so different, is called the somnambulistic state. So you, in a kind of a very, I would say trance-like state where that higher intelligence can come in. I've witnessed it many times, and it will speak about the individual in the third person. So I've witnessed this over and over again, and oftentimes, because all sessions are recorded, sometimes persons don't recall what they have uncovered in the session. So within the recording, they will hear this aspect for themselves. But we listen to the frequencies. I do an interview process with you. I'm very, very detailed with my interview process. It gives me a lot of the details I need to help to guide you to where you need to go to heal or to uncover what it is your intention is. So we take you from the normal state of consciousness in which an individual is in a relaxed state to the altered brainwave state, which focuses their attention and awareness on the specific directive they have chosen consciously, what they want to address in the session.
Okay.
Thereby
So hold on. You said that something to do with consciously. The direction you choose to go consciously.
So in other words, meaning that when I say that the directive they have chosen consciously, it means we agree before we start the session what type of session I'm going to do.
Oh.
Want to accomplish. So your conscious mind is aware that these are going to be tasks you wish to accomplish. So we have agreed on what we're going to work. Start the journey there.
Okay. Let me show this. Okay, got it. Continue. Sorry.
Thank you. So then we will, from there, go on to the particular journeys. And there really is, this is exciting. I mean, I am so not only excited for humanity, not only what I have seen within the clients that I have worked with. The reason being, for the past 26 years, I have trained, studied, taught, worked, and I've done so many different modalities, especially in the holistic fields, energy medicine, all of the contemporary, all of, consciousness evolution and consciousness exploration, from technology to organic, all different types. And I've been through different therapies myself. But I really found that something was missing. Something was still missing. And when I came across this information and saw the potentials, I saw through some documents I was exposed to how hypnosis was being used in the military, for example, to heal post-traumatic stress syndrome. And I'm going to give you some facts because it's really important when we have a new field. People like information. They want to know where they can research it and make sure it's valid, which I appreciate as well. So we have a study carried out by Dr. Alfred Barrios, and this was published in the Psychotherapy Journal of the American Psychiatric Association. So we're doing traditional talk-based psychotherapy versus just even standard hypnosis, and quantum hypnosis takes it to a further exponential level of healing. So we have psychoanalysis. It takes 600 sessions to get a 38% recovery rate. In behavioral therapy, it takes 22 sessions to create a 72 percentile recovery rate. In hypnotherapy, it takes 6 sessions to accomplish a 93 percentile recovery rate. So we have stats that are now validifying this. Wow. Now, when I think we discussed this, but this is really important for your viewers, because I also put myself in their position, looking in on this for the first time. So in the 90s, I was doing neurolinguistic programming training. And it was through that I was exposed to the fields of standard hypnosis, but through dentistry and advertising. And I have to say, I was not happy with what I saw, especially through the fields of advertisement. So radio and TV programming.
Yes.
Where subtle sounds and frequencies were used in the backgrounds of ads and jingles, and where words were used flashing so quickly in the frame of an advertisement that the conscious eye and mind does not register it, but the unconscious mind and eye register it. So this is where I felt not interested. But again, having gone through so many different modalities and come for a full circle now, I myself have experienced the benefits of quantum hypnosis. A lot of what I'm going to say is unbelievable, but yet it sounds unbelievable, but it is not. And it's all about our belief systems, about breaking the barriers now in 2020 of what we consider possible and not possible, because I can guarantee you. Let's take, for example, this month, October 2020, the US government has launched its official quantum website, quantum.gov.
What?
This is gaining anybody can research this, huge validity. They know what is coming. Since we had the first quantum computer that opened up, D-Wave, there's been a number of fields that have opened because quantum mechanics is starting to really bleed through into this reality. So
this is so unbelievable. These are things that you would hear about, or you would see on television, or you would hear about, you read in books or something, almost like from another dimension or from another time, right? And now we're having this conversation here, accessible information, accessible for everyone.
Many people are having these conversations. I'll tell you, I do a lot of conferences. I travel a lot, mostly things overseas, because there's a different level of consciousness and value for different fields. You know, like nowadays, let's say when I started in the 90s doing yoga, I'm still a very initiated as a Reiki practitioner in the mid 90s. It was still a very nebulous kind of genre where people didn't feel safe, and things, history repeats itself. Something's brought out and people feel uncomfortable, and it becomes this 100th monkey effect where the global narrative will accept that something is working and becomes more commonplace than sort of invented reality. So what's really, really important to understand here is that in this field of quantum hypnosis is tied into other fields which are emerging and gaining popularity and awareness within the global narrative, such as neuroplasticity, or rewiring the brain, because that is a part of what happens within a quantum hypnosis session. At the end of the session, we do a process where we rewire the brain, dissolving old neural pathways that represent the memories, experiences, or beliefs that came from experiences that were traumatic, unhealthy, or harmful to us. And if you want to find out more about neuroplasticity, You can look this up on YouTube. It's Dr. Bruce Lipton. Is it?
Yes. I've seen this stuff. Yeah. Okay.
And then another great, correct. Another great person to check out is Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm sure many persons have heard of him as well.
Oh yes.
Okay?
Oh yes. The dude.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
He does a form of quantum hypnosis as well. So we're going to move on here. Okay.
Yes, this is exciting stuff, right? Happening. It is happening.
And I want to say on your point, I have met personally and put on conferences with some pretty well-known people who are physicists, who are special forces trainers, high-level special forces trainers, who have been working in institutions, who have been doing clinical studies with measurable results to validify the quantum field. And these are authors like a personal friend of mine, Dr. Cynthia Sue Larson. Anybody can look her up on YouTube. She's written many jumps, books. Her best book she's written that I would recommend to anybody out there is called Quantum Jumps by Cynthia Sue Larson. And her a lot of information. But the other thing to know, which is different about a quantum hypnosis session, is that in a quantum hypnosis session, I create a quantum field that we are both contained in. It's an ability to work the energetics. The Chinese talk about our subtle energy fields, traditional Chinese medicine. We understand to reach something called 0 point. It can be also described as sacred neutrality. So you're just holding an open space. You are not holding, like, there's no conscious interaction from my mind. I'm just holding a clean canvas for you to paint on. Okay? Space and time are different here in the quantum field. They absolutely are. And it is in this reason that we can successfully do remote quantum hypnosis sessions to any person anywhere in the world. I've done many remote sessions. Space and time have no limitations as they do outside that quantum field. So using the frequencies, our hypnosis technique, I help you to achieve this lucid hypnotic brainwave state of quantum consciousness. And this path to the subconscious and superconscious mind. And it breaks through all the blocks and barriers that you would normally have trying to access certain information. It's like, your conscious mind, you can do certain things. In the conscious world, with our conscious mind, if I want this glass of water, I can water and have it.
Yes.
No problem. But I can't, if I'm in a dream, I could maybe fly.
Yeah.
In the deeper delta and theta brain waves, we're able to access parts of our consciousness that do not have the limitations that the conscious mind imposes on us. It's like being in a dream state is the best way that I can describe it. Okay? So it's like from uncovering the source of your problems to the toughest. Some of us have severe trauma. And this is where I love working with people, because when we, and it can be from this life. So a lot of work I do is also with early childhood trauma. Okay, standard trauma, post-traumatic stress, where we will go back and we will go through these events, and we do a certain set of processes within this, and you feel the situation, have understanding. And when you come back, many people have expressed to me that dramatic shifts happen in real time that they did not think was possible in just one session. There are some testimonials on my website, quantumhypnosistherapy.com. And some of those testimonials will help people understand what the potentiality is. Because I've had people who've come to me who don't believe in God, and that's not a prerequisite. You can come any belief system. They don't believe past lives. They don't believe that there's a higher intelligence. And within one session, they have profound. We were looking for a source of an issue in this life that was to do with a blockage with relationships. He had everything going for him: money, family, fitness, all these things, but it was a real block with relationships. So we did a journey to uncover, and I didn't have a predestined idea of whether it was going to be past, present, future, or parallel life, but we knew what the intention was. He ended up in a past life where a certain series events happened, that we understood what was going on and what created this deep trauma for him as a soul that kept, it's like when we have the deep trauma, it gets in and it just makes a broadcast. It keeps broadcasting. So you could say, let me give you a great example. In this life, we could say, I deserve to be abundant and healthy. I deserve to be abundant and earn money. We could have like a conscious mind affirmation. But let's say there was something that happened to you or a family member where they were killed for their money. And their last thought was, I'm never going to have money again because I have been killed for my money. So we can have belief systems that get locked in to our unconscious and subconscious programming that have, let's say, a louder broadcast. You could have the 5% mind saying, I want to be abundant, I want money. And you could have 20% of your, in the unconscious mind saying, money's the root of all evil. I don't want to be rich. I'll get hurt if I have money. We pick up all these subtle programs from childhood, from school, from media. You know, there's so many things that program us and we're not even aware of what the source is.
Okay. And it's, you said it's locked in your DNA. Did you mention? And that happens, this is, okay, so this is your grandfather, so it's passed down without you even
Correct.
being aware of this even happening.
Exactly. There's more information. If one Googles epigenetics,
Yeah.
there's a lot more medical, scientific, there's a lot of articles that help to give really helpful breakdowns on the mechanics of that itself. But it is a highly recognized and valid field that is being used to assist people at this time. But these things are new to our conscious mind, our global narrative. They really are. And so we're having one of my passions is helping people to become freer mind, open-minded, that this is possible, and say, come and have an experience and see for yourself. And every single person, whether I've worked with them remotely or whether I have worked with them in person, have had profound regressions, and we're able to, most people get nervous, like say, I don't know if I can be hypnotized. I don't know if I can, they get all these fears, but I can guarantee you, you will go into that quantum field, that superconscious mind, and have an experience. So I'm gonna, great. What you're talking about, a lot of these negative patterns, traumas, and memories, programs are held as neural networks. They are in our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, okay, as well as our DNA. So normally, we do not have access to our soul consciousness realm, the super consciousness realm, which takes me on to another very exciting word that I'm 50-50 if your viewers have heard this term. I'm very familiar. I used to be CEO of companies and personalities that were worldwide known psychics, and into a lot of phenomenon that is now being accepted in mainstream. So one of the things that the quantum field is referred to as is the Akashic records, or our Akashic. So that
Akashic records, or what's the last one? Sorry, that's so excited when you said Akashic records.
So and thank you for asking, there is a distinct difference. I prefer Akasha, but
Okay.
known in the global narrative as the Akashic records. It means the same thing.
Okay. So it's the same thing.
Correct.
So if the viewers have no idea what that is, I guess you guys can go and research it, or you can give us a little tidbit on what it's about.
The Akashic records. So if you really want me to take a very deep dive now, I will take it with you.
Okay, how about this, right? How about we do this? How about in our interview, that is something we can take a deep dive, because I want people to almost get like a little bit of everything.
Correct. We can talk about the Akashic records, but what we do know is that deep, powerful, lasting changes are made in these lucid hypnotic states to our mental, emotional, and even physical states. I can guarantee you, I know people personally that have been healed from terminal illnesses doing quantum hypnosis. I know many case studies from other practitioners. It is a very real phenomenon. It is starting to gain validity. It's like, okay, if we don't know something, but hey, if something really works, why not try it? Okay?
Exactly.
I had a profound experience with a little boy. Now, normally we don't try not to do hypnosis with children, but I had a parent that gave me permission, and I decided to do a hypnosis session. And this is the things that people have uncovered, I can give you some examples, and maybe sometime I'd have people talk about some of their experiences with me. A child that was suffering from severe asthma. So we wanted to get a look at where did this child, what's the real source? Because there's all there a lot of times, yes, we have physiological issues, and I would always say, when you are experiencing a physiological issue, always talk to your licensed healthcare practitioner. But then there are those who are willing to take another route, explore another possibility. So we're working on the asthma. Well, this child was 11 at the time. And this child went straight into the quantum field.
Getting comfy. Even more comfy.
Consider what I cannot love what I do anymore. It is the most incredible thing to witness these things. So he basically went into a lifetime. He told me 10,000 years ago. And he was on another planet. He came from another planet. He was in a ship. And he said there was a war going on. And he was actually with his crew. He described this thing in detail. Anyhow, his ship was shot down. And the glass of the ship broke open. And when the ship hit, he could not breathe the air that was on Earth's atmosphere. And so he died choking to death. And he was very emotional, had a very profound experience. And there has been results since the session when we did the rewiring of the brain, the rewiring of the experience, filing it away, creating the neural networks. He's had rarely any asthma attacks since the session, in just one session.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm pretty open-minded. And this is what I'm kind of just in absolute awe with. You ask questions and people turn up with the answers almost like that, right? More easier than you would even think. You understand? It's all within, like, the questions that we're asking, everything is within us. We just need someone to help us to access it. And this is where you come into play. Is it that easy?
And this is what I absolutely, you have hit a point that's actually part of my personal mission in life with the quantum hypnosis. You've actually intuited that, because in my years of traveling, of seeing all types of different practitioners, of having different treatments and sessions, and seeing psychics myself and Akashic, people who read Akashic records and all this, I wanted a system that, they say, like, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for life. So I don't call myself a healer, a light worker. I call myself a facilitator, because what I love about this is very different to traditional hypnotherapy or the systems. I'm not coming in there telling you saying, okay, when you reach the hypnotic state, you shall not smoke, you have no desire to smoke. I'm not telling you things to program your mind in that very vulnerable state. where the answer, when you have specific questions, we go into the soul consciousness realm, and we make access to your higher intelligence. We call it the higher self. A lot of people will be, it's just a higher aspect. It's like saying that our conscious mind is like the baby version of us, and the higher self is the old, the elder, the crone, the wise one. It's us. It's just, you know, it has a bigger aerial view of what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
In this way, when people make contact with their higher selves, the information that is gained, people have had so much validified in real life during the sessions. I had a woman who was estranged from her family, who it wasn't close, didn't grow up close to them. She had several experiences in the hypnosis session, including very specific things of seeing objects and seeing dates and times and names. And when she had the Skype call 2 days after our session with her mother and aunt in the UK, it was uncovered that the very things she saw that she never knew about, her mother could pull out the photo and show her, you know, a little girl that had passed, that was a family member, the gravestone, the pink teddy bear, everything that she saw. She wasn't aware, for example, her great-grandfather had an outside woman, had a Chinese outside lady, and they had a son. But she saw this, she saw the names, and when she asked about it, they confirmed that the great-grandfather in fact had, like, you know, a outside Chinese woman, and they had a son. So many of the things are, one, she was hysterical, you know, she was shaking when she found out. But this is our normal state. It's just that we haven't had a system previously to help us access it. So again, I am empowering the person to make that connection. And I also do spiritual life coaching sessions, because then I can help the individual outside of a quantum hypnosis session with techniques to actually learn how to make this connection. Everybody's an individual. Everybody's unique. Everybody's got different things going on in their soup. So you have to work with an individual when, you know, gaining access and maintaining a connection to the higher self. Okay. But what I love is all the answers that the person receives, from the most specific details to dates to times. I mean, I have people come in here with business, and they want to know when to make this business move, if they should take this route. So we do like a parallel life regression. If you make this business decision, how does the timeline look? 6 months, a year, 2 years. If you make this decision, how does it look? 6 months, you know, a year, 10 years. And if you make option 3. Yeah. So they have clear directives and timelines. So all the information is coming from their higher self. So what happens? That person starts to rewire their brain, that they do in fact have a real life connection to their own higher intelligence. I mean, 2020 is showing us this is the fall of many things. For me, it's the fall of the guru, the false systems of looking outside of ourselves for the answers, because right now people are in a mess, understandably, very understandably, looking to see what's the truth. Because there's everything in this reality in many aspects is conflicting. There's never been more conflict of belief of what is reality, what's real, what's a lie, what's true. Is this person a fraud? Is this person a real leader? You know, we know what is going on in the global narrative right now. But if the key is, if we can gain access, which all the mystics, which all the fields of psychotherapy, have religion, spirituality have attempted to do, we can have that knowingness for ourselves. We don't need to seek outside of ourselves. It's always good to confer, but when you have core issues, the deepest questions or traumas or tragedies or loved ones that have been lost that you want to talk to, you want to communicate with those loved ones and hear them. And this is really possible. I've had many persons who have passed that have direct messages for the people in sessions that brings a lot of healing and resolution. And they will come in and say things that only that person could know.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not doing anything. I'm holding space for this to happen. Yes, I know which corridors of time and mind to take you down, to hold the space, but you you're learning you are the magic. You are the one doing this. And this is a big, big shift in our psychology to healing. We're always waiting for somebody to tell. Well, society has been designed. We look to leaders, we look to always an external source to direct us, to tell us what's the truth. But we're coming to a place where we know we need to start knowing for ourselves.
Definitely.
We also need, the other part is going hand in hand with 2020 that ties into quantum hypnosis, is the latent talents and abilities and potentials that we all have. I mean, we know science tells us we use a maximum 8% of our brain, our conscious mind, 8% of our brain. You are tapping in to the other 2%, what you could really uncover. So a lot of people contact me about careers, finding their life purpose. Quantum hypnosis is used on sacred sites. So let's say, I used to I ran a tour to Egypt, and, in that context, we can do a group hypnosis, and we can have each person access their own unique connection. If they were ever in Egypt, they would have their own unique experiences, and the site itself, through that lucid state, can unveil many secrets and mysteries. We have clients who are writers and musicians that book blocks of time. So they get writer's block. They need inspiration. They're not getting it from the conscious mind. So when they go in the quantum field, they get all the inspiration they need to write the books, to do the articles, to create the music, to create the art.
On my paperweight. Yeah.
You should take a red pen and over or green pen, just flow. Writer's flow.
Flow. Writers, that is what we're gonna do. Okay, writers flow.
Grab the line, honey.
That is it. Now we know. We change it to flow. Okay. Yes. You were saying.
So this is where, there are also, a lot of people want to know about their love life. They want to know about relationships. This is possible to know with the parallel life regressions. You do it, another technique, another regression I've been given permission to use, which I feel is very important. Another topic I'm going to get really into with is sexuality, because so many persons have sexual traumas, sexual blocks, sexual obsessions, fixations, things that are unhealthy, that are really interfering with their quality of life. So we do the sexual therapy, quantum hypnosis section, which is hands-on. It's a hypnosis session. Let me be really clear. But I do the interview. We get to, if the person knows the source of the problem, or if we don't know the source of the particular issue or issues they're having, then we can uncover what the sources are. We can heal them in the quantum field. And when the person comes back, they are rewired for it. They're rewired within the parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system, neural networks, the subconscious programs, so that, sometimes it takes a couple of sessions, depending on what's really going on for that person. But they can gain new freedom and liberation within their intimacy and their sexual life and sexual health, which is a big part of our consciousness expansion, moving from, standard sex to knowing it's sacred, how to use the energies, the polarity, male, female, so how we can create megavolts of energy and really use sexuality as a fuel for our consciousness evolution and our conscious.
That is the conversation we need to have. Definitely. I heard a term used yesterday. STD, sexually transmitted demon. And I'm like, what? I mean, I've never thought of it as that before. With the demons. I'm like, demons is a bit heavy, because obviously we know that energy is passed through sex. Whether we do it consciously or unconsciously, and like you said, some of us have blockage there, and breaking it down and understanding and using and harnessing that energy, that is definitely wow, something to look into and kind of really understand.
Had to come. I've actually experienced having to deal with those types of entities within sessions, and those can be very safely released. Very, very safe.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question, right? Let's say I'm coming to have a session done. Someone, me or someone, whoever is coming to have a session done.
Yeah.
And you don't have an idea, like you say, you come with a list of questions so you can have an idea in the direction in which the session is supposed to go. What if you don't have any questions?
Well, that's no problem, because I will be able, based on all my other training, I will be able to, I sit with you for about an hour and a half, and I have a series of questions and techniques to assist us to uncover where the source, most people will come to me because they have something going on. They have a block in it or a pattern that keeps repeating that they can't understand why, because they're applying themselves seemingly in the right way, but never getting the right result. Or some persons want to explore other realities. Some people say, okay, I've heard of angels. You know, what do you, and I can take you on a journey to actually meet your angelic guides and guardians, which from my absolute experience, we all have. And I can also say that even if you don't believe those angelic guides and guardians, this is where it gets really wild. When I had these realizations, is that they're actually just other aspects of our own consciousness, our own higher aspects of our consciousness. They're us. That's why they're connected to us.
Okay, sorry, Martin had to poke me. I'm like, what? Wow. I think there are tears in my eyes. I kid you not. I can feel, yeah. Okay, again, mind blowing. I am just floored with it. I've never thought of it like that before. Oh my goodness. That is something to definitely think about. Again, so many different thoughts are going through my mind. Okay, so we don't have a question. You pretty much know which direction this session is going to, is going. We have to do a follow-up after. It's recommended that we do a follow-up. Like how many sessions do we have to do to kind of?
There's no standard set amount, but what I would say, if you really want profound, lasting change, because we're complex beings, we're only now starting to understand the subtle energy fields, all these different realms. So, and if we have high trauma, especially, I would recommend, I think 6 sessions are something that would be in your best interest if you had something that was really difficult. But honestly, I've had people that have come to me with serious issues, very serious issues, and it's been resolved in 1 session, and they have told me that, you know, these things have cleared up for them. So I would always say it's really dependent on the individual. I've been so fortunate that the work that I've done with my clients, pretty much everybody within 1 session has so much resolve and experiences that they don't tend to see me unless something else comes up. But I would recommend, if you really, especially in this time in the world, if you really start to work on the different aspects, about 6 sessions for a really thorough review and thorough connection to that higher self, I would personally recommend.
And how do you stay on track? Let's say you have a session done, and you get back into the routine. Obviously, I don't know if something is going to change because now your brain has been rewired, right?
Yeah.
So how do we kind of stay on that path? Is it going to automatically happen because you went to the source?
Mostly, I haven't seen anybody who has come back to me at this point with repeating patterns. But what we have is new experiences that creep up. Okay, we have new things that happen to us, or we may have a situation where we have a severe trigger. We have something that may be very similar that may re-trigger the person, and they can revert back in or to a similar program, which we then help to heal in the moment.
Okay, now we know. Okay, so listen, if we want to book a session, where can we is it like a wait list?
No, we have, I have sessions available. I try to space them out because I want to give my clients the best. I'll say to anybody out there, a session with me is usually a minimum of 3 hours. It's an hour and a half interview process. We have a little break, bathroom break, and then we will start. We have like a 20-minute break for a snack, etc. Because you don't want to be hungry. You want to have a full stomach and an empty bladder, so that you don't. The conscious mind and the body functions don't interrupt with that lucid state. So then the hypnosis normally lasts for about an hour and a half. I send you a whole protocol. You just start listening to the frequencies. There's a lot of free. I would highly recommend anybody to visit my website and look up specifically the SoundSync Tech page. There are links to free downloads that you can start experiencing the benefits of the music of Ted Winslow and SoundSync Tech. I'd really like to do one whole thing on, vibration and frequency. It's starting to be understood, but SoundSync Tech takes it to a level that no one has taken it yet on the planet. And these are all the videos on the website contain scientific data that sound engineers and those with biophotonic imaging can understand the reading. So it's all validified. So a session is about 3 hours. And it's easy to prepare because I'm also playing the frequencies here or while I'm doing the interview process. Okay? Mm-hmm.
So even if you don't get a chance to listen to it before you get there, we can still, well, when we get there, we can still hear it enough that everything should work.
I don't shortcuts because for me, this honestly, I also, in my own journey, was searching for my purpose. And like we all are, right? And I had done so many different things and also experienced so much, certain misfortunes that I really had to look at why was this going on. And I could not think of anything I love more. So every person that comes to me, we are having a shift in consciousness on this planet, okay? It is evident. I mean, we know it's changing. But I feel like actually a midwife of consciousness because when I see these beautiful souls come, so feeling very vulnerable sometimes, and it's like watching a vulnerable baby. All you could feel is unconditional love. And then you're witnessing the birth of this new consciousness. So I feel like, I just feel it's like being like a mom, a midwife and a mom to everybody I work with. So I'm not taking any shortcuts. Like I'm really there to support you, to empower you, to make sure that you feel safe and relaxed and to help you through whatever it is that's coming up. Okay, whatever is coming up. So you can get hold of me. I will put my details, but it's Quantum Hypnosis Therapy on Instagram. It's very easy.
Okay, got it.
It's quantumhypnosistherapy.com.
Okay, there we go. Marcus is writing. I like when she writes these things. Oh my goodness. So, and then we can go online and we can go on your website and then we will be able to book a session from there.
No, you can contact me. Just send me, there's a contact Eleanor button. But what I've also done, I've worked behind the scenes on so many websites. I have provided, I wanted to create, the website took me a while to design because I wanted, when someone came to my website, I would be able to answer pretty much most of their questions by the content that I had, because what ends up happening, we're all busy. So instead of spending hours on the phone for me personally, but also for the person who wants that instant gratification, I've created an FAQ page. They have a lot of drop-down options there. I've gone into detail about all the technologies with links, articles. Additionally, what is quantum hypnosis, about myself. So most of the questions that a person would have are there. And when you make contact with me, I give you a protocol to follow before the session. It's just mostly writing the questions and I'll have a conversation with you. So
okay.
it's
if you
easy.
have questions, if you don't have questions, then you still free to come. Because again, if we're looking for our higher self, some of us, not everyone, and you probably in that state of confusion, you probably don't know. If I came in contact with my higher self right now in the session, I probably wouldn't know. I guess they probably know what to ask me. It just happened naturally, really truly. Consciously doing it now, it probably would be a little bit intimidating at first, but
Yeah, it wouldn't be the right form, you know, because our conscious minds, your conscious mind, would not allow that to happen. It does happen to people in extreme circumstances or spontaneous circumstances, but normally there's a recipe or formula. So this is saying the quantum hypnosis created the right recipe and formula to safely make that connection and then to grow that connection.
hey, wow, Eleanor, I want to thank you so much. You know, we have to continue this conversation. We're coming
Oh,
with
absolutely.
the crew at your house so we can sit and talk. Because I want to talk about so much more. I feel as if we're just at the tip of the iceberg. It's so much information you have. And to think that the information was, you know, almost, was it kept a secret that the average person in a human skin suit should know these things because of the potential that we hold inside, you know.
Like I said, the way I got into it was some very classified documents that I saw regarding the hypnosis and quantum hypnosis, and I realized this, you know, this should not be kept coveted like a lot of knowledge on the planet, right?
Yeah.
This should be utilized for the empowerment, the healing, because the journey to empowerment is the journey of healing. In other words, okay, this is a really important point before we go, Mishka, because a big thing when people get on their spiritual path or consciousness evolution, I've seen it, I've done it all. I mean, overseas, I've hosted all types of journeys and all types of modalities, but people want to get on, grow their consciousness, right? But they have to have strong foundations or you will crumble and crash. And that involves healing yourself. So you have a strong psychological, emotional, physiological, and energetic foundation, a guideline on which to grow that consciousness. Because if you have all these high knowledge, high frequencies, but you're ungrounded, it can crumble you down. And I've seen this happen to many people in my journey.
Wow.
Many.
So we need to follow this foundation.
We've got to, right now, the whole world, the subconscious, like you could look at what's going on in the world to say this way. What has been in the unconscious of the world is being revealed in 2020. In the shadow.
Oh, very true. My goodness, I was just waiting to see, and it's, oh my God. And this is what I love, the information, the age of information. Now everything is coming. You know, the veil is getting thinner, and we are seeing things, and we are realizing things, and we're understanding things. And I am so very grateful for this conversation that we're having. Trust me, it's been a kind of a, you know, like I don't want to follow one religion. I don't want to be a religious person. I don't, you know, you talk about you're not religious, but you're spiritual. I almost want to believe in nothing. That's my goal, and everybody knows now. I don't want to believe in just one thing in anything. Me is good enough, you know. And
the best thing to believe in is you, because the kingdom of
that was, you know what, millions.
In a healed, holistic, and in a way that when we believe in ourselves, and we have, I call it benevolent confidence. That we are coming from a pure intention, we can have this confidence because it's benevolent. It's a benevolent confidence. It's what we all need now.
Wow. And you're going to help us get on track to make sure that you guys go and book a session with Eleanor Bayne. Please go and book a session. Get yourself going, man. Definitely. Eleanor, I want to thank you so much. Thank you, Eleanor, for sharing this knowledge with us. And I know everyone is going to be asking questions. Epigenetic. Go online, check it out. Quantum hypnosis. The information is here. All right. And it's in Barbados. What? This is
Barbados.
And of course, global.
Yes,
Global.
absolutely. Absolutely. So I thank both you and Margaret, and I really look forward to connecting with you all again. And I'm thanking all your viewers for having an open mind. It's a very exciting, it's a very challenging time that we're living in. But like, you know, Diamond, it's the pressure. It's the pressure that can make us great. We just need the tools, yeah? The tools to get us there. Wow. We can do it.
Definitely. Thank you so much again. This is great. You ask questions, you get answers. People turn up to give you answers, and just a little reassurance sometimes is all we need. Goes such a long way. Thank you again. All the best, and I'm looking forward to seeing you very soon. Margaret. happening. All righty. Wow. Listen, we just had a conversation. And this is definitely a part 2 and a part 3. And I feel like a series and everything coming on. Quantum hypnosis. Listen, the power is within. You know, Eleanor said this earlier. Said this when we met. Said, listen, everything you need is within yourself. That is, you know, and she's there to facilitate you, help you get past this blockage, have conversation with your present self, your past lives. Listen, guys, we need to really think about this, you know, and if there is a solution, why just not, you know, get on board with it? I am so open-minded with this. Trust me, I am so open-minded, and I'm ready to get this on the road. Believe me when I tell you that, right? So when I have my session, I'm going to tell you guys how I've changed, how it's changed me, you know? Well, not me, but not change me, you know what I mean, right? Unlock what needs to unlock, you know, have conversations, past, future, present self, you know, that kind of way. So, guys, this comes to the end of another episode of F.A.M.E Weekly Talk. Free your mind. Free it indeed. Of course, I want to thank our guests for stopping by. Oh, Miss Sheba over there at Capra. Gourmet Cheeses. Of course, I want to say thank you so much to Brandon as well, Brandon Best, you know, for sharing his journey with us. You know, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and we're so definitely loving it, all right? You know what he said, right? Do not be afraid of just pretty much being yourself, all right? Do not. Oh, and of course, you know, the benefits of Gold Cheetah, right? Because Sheba got into that earlier. And of course, we went on over to music. We had a conversation with the lovely Zoe Hansen, all right? Journaling, doing the music. Make sure that you guys look up for her, all right? She's going to be here in December doing a gig. And so is Brandon as well. Look up for him in December. Yay! And remember, like Zoe said, one word, it's fine. 5 minutes in the AM, first life, one was absolutely fine. And then we wrapped it up with the lovely, oh my goodness, Eleanor Bayne, letting us know all about quantum hypnosis and reminding us that the power that we seek, everything is within us, all right? Wow. Definitely a free your mind episode indeed, all right? So, guys, this is where we come to the end, and I'm saying bye. Margaret is here with me. Yay. The F.A.M.E family crew. Make sure that you guys follow us, all right, on Instagram, F.A.M.E Festival_Barbados. And we're doing this again next week. Yes, we are right here on this Instagram, all right? So, Mitch Kamaka is my name. And until we meet again, I guess have a great week. We can see your hands, Margaret. We can.